Yo, what's the word? What's the word, man? How y'all feel, fam? I hope y'all decent. Yeah, man, I'm back again. Plausible deniability, you feel me? I think this probably like episode 3. Definitely gotta say, man, shout out to everybody who been checking me out on a few different platforms, you feel me, leaving me some feedback. I definitely appreciate it, you feel me? Only thing I'ma ask, man, if you rocking with the content, man, if you rocking with it, man, just go ahead and share it. Share it to somebody who you think might agree, somebody who might disagree. You feel me? Hit me up in the comments. You feel me? Let me know how y'all feel. If you think I'm bugging, if you think I'm tripping, you feel me? I'm cool with that. We could have a discussion. Let me know how y'all feel, man. Um, as you might be able to tell by this point, you feel me? It's kind of all different content. It ain't no one specific subject or one specific topic. You feel me? That we going over on this show here. You feel me? But yeah, definitely we gonna get into it. So the other day, man, I was having a conversation with one of the homies, and it was just funny how we was both coming to a similar conclusion about all of these artists, all these celebrities. You feel me? From we was initially speaking on rappers. He and I, we both got a background in creating rap music. We both got songs that we made together, you feel me, and then both got our own solo content, all over the place. Uh and it's always been, I appreciate bro's point of view, you feel me, because we've always had kind of different tastes in the artists that we listen to. It's a handful of people that we both did um like their music, but at the same time, he had just a different type of vibe of the artist that he like listening to. So he was more into like the newer southern rappers, Um, and me myself, I don't know. I was always I'm from the Midwest, you feel me? So I was always kind of a Midwest guy, where it's like, the music that I like, the rappers specifically that I like. I don't know. And it's not really a good way to, I guess, explain a Midwest rapper. I always just felt like that type of music. It was real gritty. Um, it was real. It wasn't too gimmicky. So if I could like define the type of rap that I like the most, it was, stuff without gimmick. It was just like you had to be a lyricist. You had to be like really hardcore with your lyrics. You know what I mean? And not in the sense of just saying stuff that sound good, but um, something that I noticed about a lot of the artists I was into, it was a lot of show and prove. You feel me? It was a lot of, you can kind of see the lifestyle that these people were living. I guess from what they show you, you never really know unless you're around them people. But you could kind of tell by the music that somebody is making, or again specifically the raps that somebody is making. And I say even more so the lingo, the slang that they using. You can kind of tell if they really kind of living like that, or if it's more hanging around a certain crowd and they just picking things up, and they got a kind of the gift of gab of being able to put stuff together, but it don't really add up. You know what I mean? In a sense of like a full song or a full album, that type of thing. So I don't know. I always had an interest in, again, people who seem like they were fully living the things that they will rap about, and specifically, those rappers that I feel like, I related to in the way that they were living. Um, and again, that was kind of like my love for the Midwest rap. It wasn't no whole lot of extra stuff. It was just a lot of lyricism, but at the same time, being versatile, being able to kind of rap on different type of beats and come with different content, but stay true to yourself. You feel me? But yeah, me and bro, we was having some conversation, and again, we both got, uh, respectively, we both got over a decade of making our own music, from all angles of it, from production to recording. Me and Broden had to we done been in all kind of different studios, more than I can count, spent hours, 12-hour studio sessions, that type of thing, you know what I mean? Me myself, I did everything rap related with the exception of signing a contract, definitely, or I ain't really I never shot none of my own videos, you feel me? I was never really big on putting things that I was doing in particular on camera. And I know some people listening to this who, still heavily rock with the rap music, that may seem counterproductive. You feel me? And again, back in the day when I was rapping, I really couldn't explain it fully why I was like that. I got hundreds of songs that I made. You feel me? Part of the funny thing about me doing this here, you feel me? I'm using some of the same equipment that I put blood, sweat, and tears into stocking up on and learning how to use, and all of these different programs for back when I was rapping, making this, explicit music. And it was never an issue for me being able to pick up how to do this or that. And, I look back all the times I was rapping, all the different engineers I came across. One in particular, he used to try to teach me, his craft, you feel me? Like how he would do what he would do just on the engineering side, you feel me? And I just wasted so much time, we be in the studio. I was real militant with, how I would record, me and really everybody that was around me. We was always real serious about our studio time. We spending, hundreds and thousands of dollars, just to be able to record outside of everything else it take to market yourself. But I never really paid attention to the recording process, you know what I mean, until I kind of got to the end of my little rap career, whatever you want to call it. But some years later, I took the time to kind of learn more about as I started stepping away from rapping. But kind of didn't want to put it down. I started learning more about the recording process itself, you feel me? How to engineer, how to mix, how to master, the difference between the two. Something else that stuck out to me, for a short time, I went to school for audio engineering. And kind of part of why I actually signed up for school for that was at a certain point, like I learned everything that I was going to be able to learn just off of YouTube and free game, just online, as far as the recording process. And it never really made sense to me specifically what the mastering process was. You always hear the term mixing and mastering, that type of thing. It never really fully made sense to me, you feel me? Like what was the difference between the two? Just like you hear people talking about an A&R and this type of stuff. You just hear a bunch of words and acronyms and things like that get thrown around, but nobody ever really take the time to explain to you what this means. And again, for somebody like myself who's deep into rap music for 85-90% of my life, you feel me, it didn't make sense that I didn't understand kind of like some of the core fundamentals on like, the background process, the behind the scenes process of actually producing this music. But so again, back to my story, you feel me? Me and a homie of mine, we was kind of having like a semi deep conversation, just talking about all of these different artists that you see now. You know what I mean? And you see industry plants, you see people who is like industry adjacent celebrities become rappers and that type of thing. And it's like it's always been you supposed to kind of just follow along. If it's somebody who already has a name for whatever reason, or you start hearing them out of nowhere, and then next thing you know, they everywhere, that's always something that kind of struck me as odd. Because again, the music that I was into, the people that I was around, old heads in my family, not even just old heads, you feel me, my big cousins, that type of thing, you feel me, I always had that musical influence, not even just in rap, but specifically in rap. I don't know, like your background and all of that, the way that I was growing up, it was just as important as how cold you were at rapping, um yo like current image and that type of thing, your jewelry and all of that. Yeah, that's cool. You know, me personally, I've never been a jewelry guy because again, that really don't mean nothing in my eyes, and especially like from a consumer point of view. I never really cared about. I won't say I didn't care about the flashy stuff, you know, that artists would be showing in their videos. You feel me? When you see them, magazines, all of that. You know, that's the generation I'm from. You know, we used to be big on like XXL magazine, all that type of stuff. That used to be the way that you know, you would get really any sort of background information on your favorite rappers. And again, that's kind of the generation that I'm from. Where you know, I remember the pre-internet days. You feel me? So stuff always wasn't as easily accessible. You feel me? And one thing I will say, you feel me? It again, a lot of like the major rappers, industry rappers. You feel me? A lot of their backgrounds, the more I guess the more far reaching the internet got, you know, a lot of people backgrounds, which not even just rappers, just I would really say celebrities in general. Definitely anybody related to any sort of like major industry, you feel me, where you seeing them on TV or you hearing them on the radio, you know, anybody with the machine behind them. A lot of their backgrounds never really made sense to me, you feel me? And then something else I kind of always just found odd was you know, award shows, that type of thing. I never was big on, oh, such and such got this kind of award. You know, if you look back, just again, the generation that you may be from, especially right now, you feel me, it may be a little bit different for y'all. But when I was growing up, it always was kind of well known that like the hardest rappers, the hardest artists, you know, them would typically never be the ones that are actually win an award, or you know, they'll be certified in the area that they come from, and really everybody that's listening to them. But if they ain't had that, you know, kind of big industry machine kind of behind them and pushing them, it's like you will never see them winning awards. You will never see them on the major networks and that type of stuff. You know, you don't really hear them on the radio, or if you do, it's like one single that you will hear constantly with usually with a feature with another bigger artist, that type of thing, you know. And again, at a certain point, I don't know, to me it's a numbers thing. It's a probability type of thing. Why was it always like that for all of them? You feel me? And again, just a critical thinker, you have to ask yourself, you feel me? Um, what's the odds, fam? You feel me? What's the odds? Nobody who's obviously talented could just break into the industry. You know, you got artists that came out that fully marketed and promoted themselves, you feel me? However they got their money, you know, in the street, you know, they'll fully market and promote themselves without no advance, without signing no contracts. And at a certain point in time, I say maybe like the mid well, I say like the 2010s, you feel me? That was kind of a thing to rap about, you know, doing everything without no deal. You know, you got artists like a Nipsey Hussle or like a Dom Kennedy, that type of thing. And I know them two West Coast cats, but those just the first two that come to mind for me. Of they made a lot of music that I would say was hard, you know, was lyrical on good production, high level, high quality production. But a lot of their content was about, you know, doing stuff on your own and taking money, you know, proceeds that you may have gotten from whatever thing you were doing, again, on the street side or what have you, and using that to like become a businessman, you know, using that to kind of, you know, when you know better, you do better, you feel me? So using that to kind of shift your, not necessarily your persona, but um you know, change your hustle up to where you not necessarily still in the street, you know, you not living hand to mouth, that type of thing. And you know, you want better for yourself. But again, it's like it was always certain cats that it's like their content it always stuck out to me. Their content would be teaching others how to do the same thing. And again, not in a gimmicky fashion. That was kind of big for me. So being able to be lyrical while doing something like that and putting somebody on business, you know, I don't know. That was always dope to me. Those were always the type of artists that stuck out to me. So me and Broski, we was having a little conversation, you feel me? And we both was just coming to a conclusion you know, it's like, I don't know, these days, this whole generation, I say in multiple different ways, you know, talent has kind of been like worked out of the equation, where it's like, and again, maybe it's always been like that, and it's just that wasn't always the focus, you feel me? But it's like, man, it's cool to be a talentless rapper these days, you know what I mean? It's cool to be just a name and a face and a brand, and you know, your background and all of that. And I know a lot of people probably listening to this who's in the rap music, you know, you'll say, you know, after Tekashi, after, you know, it's a bunch of recent names that we could think of that's like, you know, they done gone outside, you feel me? And I would say, you know, the harder I look at things and the further back I look, man, it's always been like this. And it's really every celebrity industry that's like this. You know, I think back on cats like Jay-Z, you feel me? And I got some of the old heads in my family who I got the utmost respect for. You know, for the longest, Jay been one of their favorite rappers, you know, if not favorite. A lot of the older cats on like both sides of my family, you feel me? Older cousins, all of that. Me personally, I wasn't never really no huge Jay-Z fan on the production side, or like just the lyrics, you know, the stuff that he was talking about, you feel me? Like I got it. I got the mystique of him, you know. This was a crack dealer and he came from he came from the crack era and he persevered and he turned himself into not just a businessman that can teach you how to run a business. You know, he turned himself into a mogul, all this other, you know, that's one of the first rap casts that I first remember hearing about. You feel me? He's a mogul, all this other stuff. And it's like, fam, again, you know, to me, yo, on the rap side, your persona, it means something. You feel me? But at the same time, when you somebody who has created your own music, if you've ever been a songwriter, and it's something that you've done as not as a hobby, but as a passion, you feel me? You might connect with what I'm saying a little bit differently, where you got cats like Jay-Z. It never really made sense to me. I'll give you another one who I remember, like back in the day, has mentioned things similar to this in interviews of Lil Wayne, you feel me? When I was growing up, you feel me, pretty much my whole adolescence, everybody around me, man, fam, we was Wayne heads, fam. Like you wasn't cool, you wasn't at the party, you wasn't really around if you wasn't a big Lil Wayne fan, you know? And I would say maybe around the same time that he was popping, it was this was like pre-streaming era, you feel me? Like I'm still not a streamer. I never got into the, you know, paying for a service monthly that my favorite artist whose music I've been listening to for almost my whole life, you know. Now I'm paying monthly for separate services to listen to different songs. I don't have all my music in one place. Like, fam, even still to this point, you know, I got memory cards with my whole music library on it. I probably got like 20,000 songs, you feel me, that I've collected over my lifetime, you feel me? Definitely, I could say one of the biggest parts of my library, my music library, was you know, Lil Wayne's music. That's somebody who just the amount of music that he pumped out, and really over a short amount of time, but over an extended period of time, you know. It's not a lot of rappers, it's not a lot of cats that was able to do something like that. But something that I noticed, that he said in interviews before, he don't really write. He don't write his music. You got Jay-Z, and like it always struck me as odd, like from a shorty hearing Jay-Z in interviews talking about, nah, yeah, I freestyle everything. Like, word, like everything. Like you don't write nothing. You don't memorize. See, me personally, I was a big pothead, you feel me, for a large portion of my life, you feel me, definitely throughout my adolescence, you feel me. So, I have friends that make music, that still make music, but have made music again 10 plus years, 15 years, you feel me, going on 20 really. I got friends, it was always, I come from a generation where we used to put on, you feel me, for it'd be five dudes in the car. We'll go to the liquor store. We'll all put on for like 1/5 or like some bottom shelf liquor, fam. We used to have to put on back in the early Kush days. You feel me? Like we used to put on. You feel me? Everybody in the car putting on for a couple blunts, if that. You know what I mean? And man, we used to sit in the car and park somewhere safe. You feel me? Out the way, like be tucked in and just be putting beats on and a rap for hours. You feel me? Like again, that's the generation, that's the background I come from. You had to be able to freestyle. You feel me? You had to be able to come up with something off the top of the dome and be lyrical with it. You could, and again, it had to be like real content. You couldn't just be saying stuff that, yeah, sound good, but it's like we kick it every day. So you ain't living like that. Like dudes would be looking at you weird if you was rapping like that. You know what I mean? And again, it's like with anything else, it's kind of like muscle memory. Practice makes perfect. You feel me? So you do that for a summer or two, and you get real nice at freestyling. And again, anybody who that make music, but specifically rap music, they'll tell you the same thing. Like a lot of people don't just pick up and become nice freestylers, and much less people, are able to just pick up out of nowhere and become nice artists. So again, looking back on cats like Jay-Z, it was always weird to me for years and years. A dude like that who on the outside looking in, and me being a young kid, looking at this dude, he always struck me as a mediocre dude. Like it wasn't really nothing in his past. The whole, again, I get it, you feel me? And maybe that's my generation, I get it, the whole crack era thing, and he came from Marcy Projects and this, that, and the third, you feel me? I get it. Again, the majority of the rappers I was listening to was street, like super street, you feel me? Project babies. Jay-Z, for the content that he put out and the way that he rap, kind of the unorthodox way that he rap, it's just always been super odd to me that I'm also gonna say this. A lot of people may not agree. That's cool. We could chat about it in the comments. You feel me? But Jay-Z ain't never really, in my opinion, had like high quality raps. Like super lyrical raps. Jay-Z will say something off the wall that'll kind of make you think. But I remember being in middle school, going into high school. You feel me? I was a big fan of like and specifically on the freestyle side, cats like Cassidy. Me looking back, and Cassidy is another rapper, you feel me? I'll be the first one to tell you, went out very sad, fam. If you was a fan of Cassidy, you feel me, and looking at him now, like it's kind of crazy, you feel me? Things like that. That's kind of part of why I had the views that I have on the industry as a whole. But looking back, that's somebody else, man, that put out a whole lot of content. And that's maybe one of the few people I could say that a lot of his freestyles like really did seem to be on the spot. Like Philly cats, the East Coast cats, that was a thing where, they would do, they would battle. And it's like the guys around them, you feel me, with no different bars that they would be spitting. Like it was reused bars, you know, being realistic. I could understand all of that, but at the same time, fam, it was a lot of stuff you could tell was coming off the dome. And I look at somebody like Jay-Z, I never really saw the same conviction in Jay-Z's raps, you feel me? Lil Wayne, you feel me? Like when you listen to him on a lot of songs back in the day, like even if he wasn't freestyling, it was a certain conviction that he rapped with. Like it was a certain passion that he rapped with, where it's like, man, that was that same passion that me and my homies for years, for a bunch of our teenage years, you feel me? Like that was the passion we would rap in the car with each other with, you feel me? That was the passion. Like we go to different neighborhoods and battle rap different people. Like is one person I got a whole bunch of music with, really one homie and another family member that we was real close in age, you feel me? I got a bunch of songs with these dudes that like we never really went nowhere where we wasn't rapping or doing something like rap related. And it's like we meet other people with like money behind them. And like we be thirsty to freestyle with them just to, you know, let me put my style against y'all style, you feel me? Like we in a whole different state, a whole different city, you feel me? Like, man, I want to hear some of y'all lingo. Like, what's the stuff y'all talk about? How y'all living out here, you feel me? And that's kind of like, again, I done spent hours, days, and weeks out of my life kind of doing this type of thing where it's like, man, I never really was involved in no freestyle battle or nothing like rap music related where I'm gonna run out of hard content, especially if it's a crowd around, especially if it was girls around. Like, man, we was the dudes at the lunch table, you know, that somebody making a beat on the lunch table, man, I'm gonna go back and forth with you until you don't want to rap no more, fam. And again, everything that I'm saying, like, I'm coming lyrical, but I'm rapping about stuff soon as we leave school, we doing. I'm rapping about stuff that, man, me and bro, we calling ourselves out of school to go do and still getting our schoolwork done and still involved in team sports, extracurriculars, you know. And again, I'm doing this just off the love, just off the passion, you feel me? So I don't know, you feel me? Something that fast forward to now, me and bro was talking about, you feel me? You got all of these artists that like you win awards, and again, I'm not even just talking about rappers, or just musicians, you feel me? Definitely actors too, like pretty much any major industry that's got celebrities in it. You got these people that win awards. And some I noticed, you know, again, just when you listen to a lot of these major celebrities in interviews and stuff, something I noticed they speak on a lot is they speak on channeling different things, channeling different entities, you feel me? Channeling the ancestors, channeling spirits, you feel me? Again, that's something that as somebody who's written hundreds, maybe 1,000 songs, raps, verses, you feel me? I ain't never had to do that, bro. The people that was rapping around me, like that would have shut down the whole function, you know, if it was somebody just in my local neighborhood that we rap together every day. And they, you know, it was like the way that we would rap and freestyle with each other, you know, it was like it was like friendly competition between brothers, you know what I mean? Like, one day I'm coming with some of the hardest raps, and the very next day my man's next to me coming with some of the hardest raps, and I'm going back to the drawing board in my mind trying to come up with something to top that. And the day after that, it's gonna be the third man in and come with the hardest raps, you feel me? And it was always kind of like a natural rotation like that, you know, like we trying to outdo each other, but at the same time, like we taking bits and pieces that not content, you know, but different things about flow or delivery, you know, that bro is nice at, you feel me? And you work that, you the phrase was, you put your own swag on that. You put your own spin on it. Like, you don't just take from somebody else, but because again, that's like, at that point, that's not you. That's them, you know? So I don't know. It would have been super weird. It would have stopped the whole motion of things to have somebody around me, that we underground, we not industry. We air quotes, you feel me? We trying to break into the industry. To have somebody around me talking about, man, they channeling such and such. I'm coming with my own raps about stuff that me and you doing every day, all day, but I'm rapping, I done got in the studio, I done found the studio, you feel me? I paid all this money for studio time, and I get in here, I'm channeling Tupac. Like, really sit and think about that. How do that sound? Whatever it is that you got as your own personal hobby or your passion, to have somebody that you know personally kind of step in and be like, yeah, man, I'm channeling this dead man. You feel me? Something that you can't see it. I can't see it on a regular day. I gotta light a bunch of funny candles in the room. You feel me? I gotta fill the room with sage. You feel me? I gotta wear all black. You feel me? Do some other funny style stuff. You feel me? And then I can get feedback from this thing that's telling me it's an ancestor of mine. It's funny to me. So you feel me? Me and bro, we having conversation, and it was just, I feel that he felt the same way. He felt where I was coming from. I felt where he was coming from, as far as like, how do celebrities be winning all these awards? You feel me? Talking about their talent, talking about how good of an actor you are, how good of a musician, how good of a singer you are. You feel me? And then it's like, at the same token, you watch an interview from this person in the industry, and they telling you, oh, I was channeling the ghost of I don't know, it's just odd to me, fam. It's even more odd when you come across different words like I like to look into the etymology of things. Again, being a rapper, being a lyricist, you feel me? That was always important, having a huge vocabulary, and not in the Eminem sense where it's like I'm just throwing big words at you that sound good, but it's not even stuff that fit together to be an actual lifestyle. I was always big on finding creative ways to speak on stuff that I knew about personally, you feel me? So it's odd to me, coming across things like Faustian bargain. Y'all ever heard of that, fam? You see the first thing to pop up. What does this mean, What does it mean to you? Because off top, I tell you again, to me, this mean the opposite of the type of music. This the opposite of you putting in years, a decade of work, and getting nice at any particular thing. This kind of, to me, this kind of means something a little bit different. We look at these guys right here, that's y'all mans, you feel me? That's y'all people, so we gotta trust anything that's coming from them, right? Let's see what they got to say. Faustian bargain. From the medieval legend of Faust, who made a contract with your boy, exchanging his soul for unlimited knowledge and worldly pleasure. Let me ask you a question. Can you relate this parable to your favorite celebrity? And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm definitely not I'm not a Bible scholar. You feel me? I'm a Bible believer. I'm not no Bible scholar. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna keep it real with you. The Bible tell you specifically this is something that you really you don't have the power to do. But I think you can exchange, maybe essence may be a better word, maybe something that you don't fully understand, for unlimited knowledge in something, as far as like maybe being able to freestyle nonstop about literally anything, and not having to write it down or memorize it like another natural human being. I mean, if you'd have made it this far into the video, you got to understand that this is the thing right here, exchanging whatever for worldly pleasure, I don't know. It's we look down here, an agreement in which a person abandons his or her spiritual values or moral principle in order to obtain knowledge, wealth, or other benefits. What's the synonym? I'm gonna ask you, like somebody asked me, I spent about a year of my life incarcerated in different some different institutions, you feel me? But I had one cellmate at one point, we used to have some deep conversations, you feel me? He was a little bit older than me. And he said something to me one night that like it really stuck out to me. It's always kind of stuck with me since then. And this was years ago at this point. He said, "Fam, have you ever even heard a story about anybody like in real life, a nonfiction about anybody with all the money or knowledge or let's say benefits? Have you ever heard a story of somebody like that that lived a full life, enjoyed it? From the outside looking in, you look at most celebrities, it look like they enjoying every bit of what they doing. You feel me? They living a fast life. Even if they die young, like that little phrase that over my generation got popular, you feel me? People be living fast or whatever, but it's like that. I guess the idea behind that is they living an enjoyable life, being a celebrity, having wealth and money and everything provided for them. You feel me? Have you ever, my celly had asked me, have you ever seen somebody or heard of a story of somebody like that? They die and any of the stuff that they done compiled over their lifetime, however long, they took it with them. And he kind of just left me on a cliffhanger with that. You feel me? And fam, again, that's stuck with me for years now, cause I can't even think of a movie about that. That's not even something most people think of, in my opinion. You spend the society we live in, you feel me? They tell you, they motivate you to spend more and more hours out of your day, more weeks out of your life, months out of your life, years out of you and your loved ones, your children's lives, to gain mostly this. You chasing this, you chasing wealth, you chasing money, you chasing finances. I've never heard of anybody taking it with them. You done heard of people dying. You done heard of people passing away. You done heard of super wealthy people passing away. Allegedly, it's some super wealthy people, they'll tell you on the news, they'll tell you on TV, it's people with their own private jets and yachts and islands. They'll tell you they pass away, you feel me? Allegedly, I don't believe that just because the TV says that. Just because television programming says that. It's possible, But again, coming from like the rap world that I'm into, that I've been into for a majority of my life, we not dealing in impossibles, man. Show me how you living. Show me how you got to where you at. Show me what's going on. Show me proof, fam. Or I'm not with it. It's not good enough just to make it sound good. You think? Because anybody could do that. Any rapper could tell you, man, I sold 100 bricks. Some of them did. Most of them didn't. Back in the day, they all told you they did. Majority of them. So it's like, fam, if I was able to come to a conclusion like that, you know, as a teenager, you feel me, as a preteen, and be able to compartmentalize, you feel me, to separate the rap from the rapper, the act from the actor, you feel me? It's people twice my age, you feel me? They still with kids my age, you feel me? That, you know, I know they don't want to hear none of this that I'm speaking on right now. And it's cool, you feel me? I get it. It's another definition. Oxford Dictionary. You dig? Channeling. Direct towards a particular end or object. Okay. That's like channeling a water source, right? Channeling a river, right? And you sending the water in a certain direction. Okay, I did that. Of a person. The verb of a person. Serve as a medium for a spirit. So this is like what a lot of actors will tell you. They put out a new movie. They didn't write the movie. The production house, the people with the money, that's just like the rapper, the record label, the people with the money, the producers, they hire writers. The writer tells the actor what to say in the movie. For a long time, I was a huge Denzel Washington fan. That was probably one of my favorite actors when I was really into movies. You feel me? A lot of his films, even the rapper Jadakiss got a line about why Denzel had to be crooked before he took it. You feel me? He got a line about a lot of, not all, but a lot of Denzel's roles that he's played. He's been really good at playing the bad guy. In the sense of rap, it's like he'd be really lyrical if he was a rapper. It sound good. But just like a lot of other musicians, just like a lot of singers, a lot of like pop stars, they don't. That's common knowledge. They don't write their music. The record label hires people to write their music. Some rappers, some musicians, they record themselves and they mix their own music, meaning they better the quality of the music they're recording, because it's not just enough just to sit down in front of the microphone and spit what you're gonna spit. You know, it's all kind of different things that come into that. It's all kind of different filters and, again, edits that need to be done to make high quality music, make it sound appealing to the ear. Fam, a lot of your favorite pop stars, you feel me, the label that they're signed to, that they're beholden to, they hire people to write that music. A lot of your favorite artists, musicians, they not even a lot, they don't mix, but much less know the mastering process of music to get it like what used to be the bar, radio quality back in the day, then CD quality, you know. That's a whole process. And again, my argument, what I'm trying to explain to y'all, is opaque for a reason. Even going to school for audio engineering, they never really break that down to you. You know, I'd be like, break it down to me like I'm a 5-year-old, you feel me? If you know it, if this is something that you do, you the expert. I'm coming to you. I'm paying to come to you to get this information. Break it down to me. And again, even going to school, you know, it's a lot of hidden knowledge. So it's just funny to me, you feel me, when you look at rappers, actors, celebrities, people who break their necks to get awards at a award show. And you come home from a hard day's work and sit in front of your TV and watch a room full of rich people give a rich person an award for something they supposedly talented at, and then you turn around and that same person getting that award, they doing an interview talking about, yeah, I was channeling Oscar Grant. I was channeling Malcolm X. You know what I mean? How are you talented if you bargaining with things that the average public can't see, you feel me, to get to where you at, then you winning an award and this was your process. That's the opposite of talent. That's the opposite of shooting in the gym. You know? You know, me personally, I used to be of the belief that if you hear an artist speaking on God, or specifically saying the name Jesus, but saying, that you see people get these award speeches, and they be like, I want to thank my mom. They if it's a male, I want to thank my wife. I want to thank my kids. If it's a black dude, it's I want to thank my mama. I want to thank my mama. You feel me, on that Migos time, and then like 2 or 3 thank yous down the list. Like the second thank you be, I want to thank my producer. I want to thank the executive producer. I want to thank Jimmy Iovine. You know what I mean? I want to thank this billionaire that's running the label that gave me a $20,000 advance to sign this 10-year contract. Where I gotta put out, I gotta stay hot, stay dope long enough to the public to put out 7 to 8 albums. And I signed that on paper. And in the process of that, I got all kind of other things working against me, that the average human being, on top of being a wealthy person, is dealing with. And I gotta make this happen, or I'm out of there. I'm gonna lose all the status and all the wealth and all of the clout that you think I work for, but that in reality, these people gave me 20 bands up front for. I went and bought the chain. I went and leased the whip, and now I gotta keep putting out this content that's typically explicit in the rap game. A lot of these movies, yeah, you got kids movies, you got PG-13. With another episode, we'll get a little bit deeper into, deeper meanings behind those things, behind those movies that's supposed to be, kid friendly, that type of stuff. But fam, a lot of the media we consume, it's explicit. I'm gonna just keep it like that. A lot of the rap we listen to, it only sell if it's explicit. Ultimately, why I stopped rapping personally, it's hypocritical of me to want positive things for me and the people around me, for my family, but to be telling the impressionable people in your family through my music, man, just go do the negative stuff that I did. Yeah, I made it through. I got here. You feel me? I got locked up in the process. I done seen all kind of. I done lost people. I done lost a lot, fam. But you could be just like me, and I want to be just like the people I see on TV, and that's what I'm doing through my raps. I want to be a mogul, whatever that means. You feel me? I don't know. You feel me? Is the fame and fortune, is it worth it? You know what I mean? Keep it funky with you. Again, we go back to talking about situations like this. A lot of your favorite rappers, and again, let's talk about it from a number standpoint, from a probability standpoint. What's the odds, man? A lot of your favorite rappers, a lot of your favorite musicians. I give you a big one from where I'm from. Jennifer Hudson. A lot of them before they get the fame and the fortune, before they get to where they at, before they get the wealth, before they get pushed on you, they lose somebody really close to them, typically in an odd fashion, typically in a mysterious fashion. A pact whereby a person trades something of supreme moral or spiritual importance, such as personal values or the soul, for some worldly or material benefit, such as knowledge, power, or riches. Something that you can't take with you. You ain't never seen somebody die. Something else you could look into, look into some videos, you feel me, and testimonies of people who had NDEs, you feel me, near death experiences. Definitely myself, not all of them. I don't believe, I can't even say I believe most of them that I've seen, but it's definitely some that they be a little bit too detailed, just like the raps that I was into. They some of the underground rappers and people that I've come into contact with, a lot of times you could tell stuff be too detailed to be made up. I never heard a story of one of them people saying, man, I got to the other side and I had all these blue-faced hunters that I done stacked up on this side. And I was on the other side living how I was living here. Something you ain't never heard, you feel me? It just be funny to me, you know what I mean? What they get you to go for. Get you to go for it, you feel me?
When you say you don't write, I always wondered about that. I mean, so you literally come in the studio and then formulate sentences in your head.
Yeah.
And then spit it to that beat.
Yeah.
And you never write down the lyrics.
Never.
You've never done that.
Never.
From Reasonable Doubt until now.
I wrote the second verse of Can I Live in Reasonable Doubt. That's the last verse I remember writing.
And so stuff just comes to your head spontaneously?
Absolutely, like a gift. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I remember when you came.
Absolutely, like a gift. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I remember when you came.
Fam, that's somebody that's believable to you. Then you got this cat, you feel me? You got this dude who this is a physical representation of the industry. I got specific questions I'm gonna ask you, you feel me? I ain't gonna ask you nothing that's gonna make you look bad. We may be doing an interview where just as an actor, multiple actors in a movie is good cop or good cop and bad cop. I may be playing a bad cop in this movie and I'm given a script by the people that employ me, that feed my family, to make it seem like I don't like the good cop because I'm playing the bad cop in this movie with this kind of atmosphere, if you catch my drift. And this dude is playing the good cop, but in reality, again, when you look into his actual background, it's not really I would say, just like things that I was doing in my life, it ain't nothing to be proud of. What this dude came from and kind of what he was still pushing, because that's all he talk about is his background. Show me somebody who started a business just listening to his content. You know, they got that joke about, you feel me, on social media. Would you take a dinner with this dude who tell you that he don't write nothing down? That's not even just a rap thing. That's a musician thing. This dude say he don't write nothing down, fam. Would you take dinner with this dude that can't even tell you how he got that air quotes that gift? He can't even tell you.
Like,
I remember when you came.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or would you take 500K? You feel me? That's the little meme or whatever, you feel me, that's floating around social media. You know what I mean? That's it should be a no-brainer. You know, but again, maybe I'm bugging. You feel me? We can argue about it. I'm definitely not always right. You got your mans right here. You feel me? Your mans. You feel me? I remember this movie from back in the day. You know, I remember this was one of the things that this movie came out, and it's like a lot of the really not even just the women. A lot of people in my life, they were like, man, you gotta go check this one out. Like it was, I remember it being a lot of hype around this movie as it came out, you know. Talking about it's based on the events leading up to the death of Oscar Grant, you know, a real person, a real human being. They got killed in the Bay Area, California, you feel me? Me personally, if the story that we were told about this event is completely true, excuse me, if I was a family member of this person in real life, the last thing I would want would be to have a movie of this genre based around my family member. However they supposedly are making my family member look. It was some years after this movie came out before I actually watched it, and I gotta say, you know, I wasn't really a fan. And again, I told y'all in the last video, I was a big movie buff back in the day. You feel me? I used to watch a little bit of everything. I used to watch most new movies when they came out. At the same time, I wasn't never really big on if I know if everybody around me is talking about a movie, I'll typically watch it later than everybody else. I'm not gonna break my neck to go to the theater to go spend some money and watch this movie that everybody say they like it. Everybody say it's, people won't even be saying it's a good movie. They just, oh man, it's so, I don't know. I guess, you know, timing be everything. You know what I mean? So it's like this was just something that allegedly, you know, the powers that be, you know, this is something they wanted you to hear about. This is a story they wanted you to hear about, you know. It's even deeper than that, you know, for people who are of this skin tone, you know, that it's something, you know, it's more acceptable to say now, but it's like, man, it's a lot of movies that kind of paint people that look like this in a certain light, you know, in multiple different ways, in multiple different contexts. And I don't know, again, I'm not really a big fan of I ain't never really, I never was a fan of, like, I guess for lack of a better term, you know, fear porn. You feel me? Or like, you know, you hear about, like, man, they just now coming out with this a new Color Purple movie. So it's like your family, your OGs, your old heads that spent their time and money raising you up, putting you through school, making sure you was fed. Not saying they was perfect, you feel me? But your family members, you know, that got you here, that got you to where you at today, They got their version of the color purple, you feel me? And now it's one for your generation. It's one for you to tell your kids about how, you know, this how you supposed to look, this how you supposed to move. You supposed to do it because we showing it to you on TV. So that must mean most people that look and move like this, that look like you, that must be how they move in real life. Cause TV said it. Cause the movie said it. You can't make this up, bro. Let's see what your man's talking about.
I would pray to him. You know, I would channel his energy. I would just ask to be around.
When did you feel it the most?
Honestly.
Ass cool, fam.
Energy. I would just ask to be around.
When did you feel it the most?
Honestly, it was when it was on the platform. And we're gonna use it while the train wasn't running.
Yeah.
And tons of extras, limited takes, one camera. But that's where his presence was around me the most. I think at the platform for sure. It was it's that weird eerie feeling, but it was a good feeling. You know, I don't think I could have done it without him being there.
Him, Oscar.
Oscar, yeah.
The energy of Oscar.
The energy of Oscar, his presence for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did he?
So he was talking to a dead man. Is what you telling me? You was talking to a dead guy.
You know, I would pray to him.
You know something else the Bible tell you? And you probably heard this before. The eyes are the windows to the soul. And it's you know, a lot of people of this complexion, you know, have brown eyes, have darker color eyes. I just want you to notice something about a lot of mainstream celebrities that are pushed by the industry they're in. They tend to have darkened eyes. Maybe I'm bugging, you know, just something else that I noticed. It's another more recent one, you feel me? And again, this is it's cool to me because I notice how a lot of I don't know, it's like stuff get memory hold. Like you see something and it be inflammatory for a minute and you like, yeah, I don't like that, you know, and then you forget about it. And you keep on kind of living the same way without making any sort of changes. But this is another cat, you know, this is a major show in recent memory that a lot of people was into. You know, I think I watched maybe like the about half of the first season. And again, it was interesting to me. You feel me? It was a cool show. I still had in the back of my mind, just like with anything else that I watched, that like your boy that was the main character in it, he didn't write the stuff that he was saying in here. Everything that he said in the show, he was told to say by a team of writers hired by a company with stakeholders that they need to please, which is, that's not the consumer. The consumer, the person consuming the content, you are typically not the person that the company is ultimately intending on pleasing, even though it may feel that way. Let's hear what he had to say.
Sometimes we do 10 episodes for my show, and in this last season, I was hitting a block, right? I was like, oh, I'm not doing it right? So I went in the corner, and then I was looking at the wall, and I was like, come on, devil, right? Come to me, because I had to do something like crazy, right?
Word. Fam.
Come to me, devil, right? Devil, come on, devil, right? Come to me, because I had to do something like crazy, right? Had nightmares for a month. So it does come
to it or after?
After. Like I had nightmares every day. Like I felt that end.
And then, my bad for breaking this up like this, man. Peepee boy trying to, you know, throw you off the scent. Leading up to it or after? What was the point of that? What are they on here talking about,
Come
bruh?
on, devil, right? Come to me, because I had to do something like crazy, right? Had nightmares for a month. So it does come
to it or after?
after. Like I had nightmares every day. Like I felt that energy,
Oh, interesting.
you know, and I had to pray and do all this stuff to like get rid of it. And, you know, you call your mom up and you're like, bring me back to life. And that stuff is real. That stuff real.
What is he talking about? First of all, what would make you think being a high level, he's so high level, he got an interview with almost 1 million views on a major hip hop radio platform. So this isn't this ain't no underground rapper. What creeps into your mind to make you say, come on, devil, to be able to do something, as he said, was something crazy for a show that they paying you M's, multiple M's. Where does that come from? Where does that mode of thinking? What's the etymology behind that? Who was the first person to think of all things, not the practice, not to read and reread and reread and reread my lines, not to go to the gym and keep lifting. I'm gonna say, come on to this entity. I'm gonna speak to an entity that can't nobody else in the room see. And that's how he got his scenes done.
Like crazy, right? Had nightmares for a month. So it does come
to it or after?
After. Like I had nightmares every day. Like I felt that energy,
Oh, interesting.
you know, and I had to pray and
And
do
then to
all
make
this
it go
stuff to,
away,
like,
he
get
had
rid of
to-
it. And, you know, you
I
call
had
your
to do
mom
all of
up
this
and you're
stuff
like, bring
to
me back to life.
make it go away.
That stuff is real. That stuff really is real.
Bring me back to life. Again, it's funny to me, you know, knowing what I know. And again, I definitely don't know everything, but that's talent to y'all. This dude is better than you. These people are better than you. Buddy with the cool glasses, or buddy over here with the cool bracelets. Yet again, sitting in the dark room with the candles lit, you know, with the atmosphere, they setting the mood. That's my question to you is, why are these people, why do you believe they're better than you? Because the TV says so? Look at your mans. Yet again. Color purple.
Is it possible that these actors and actresses are possessed by demonic spirits who have a specific agenda to fulfill? Oscar award-winning actor Denzel Washington told 60 Minutes exactly how he brings forth his best performances.
Basically what I did was got on my knees and sort of communicated with the spirits. And when I came out, I was in charge.
Powerful scene.
Powerful scene. I couldn't have acted that. I couldn't have written that down and made a decision to play that.
What, are you gonna smoke that?
Nope, you are.
Hell if I am.
Yeah. You're Jesus freak. You're Jesus freak.
Fam, I used to love that movie. It's crazy to me, you feel me? And I'm not here to tell nobody how to live their life, you know. I'm just pointing out connections and asking, what's the probability? What's the probability that this lady is involved in so much of just what we've looked at in this video here? What do these people be talking about, man?
Religious. Are you religious? Do you
No.
believe in something? Anything?
Yeah, believe in me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't believe in anything else?
Anything else?
Well, it's a religious thing. Like, is it in God, or is there something like that?
Well, you can separate God from religion, which is what I do. I believe in God. I believe in me. Same person.
You've been around for
Fam. And then you see the little smirk at the end, you feel me? Like, this the cat that in so many movies he plays a form of the one true God. That's who he's known to play. On top of the fact that man, this man been around for a minute. A fat minute.
I believe in me. Same person.
You've been
But in
around
real
for
life, that's
anything else?
Anything else?
Well, it's a religious thing. Like, is it in God, or is there something like that?
Well, you can separate God from religion, which is what I do.
let me stop him. Let me stop him right there. That one line I agree with. You can separate God from religion. I don't agree with it in the sense of what I believe he's saying here. Cause separating God and religion doesn't mean that that you're God. I think that's maybe like the most it's a completely ridiculous statement to say that any regular human man walking around, regardless of whatever bargains or deals they've made, that doesn't make you God or a God or any of that. That's overconfident at the very least. That's writing a check your butt can't cash. You feel me? But again, just based off of the little that I know about the Bible and about my walk with God in particular, there is a separation between you walking with God, you walking with Christ, not the higher power, the Most High, and again, people do things to like a coverall. They want to make it seem like they believe in everything, whatever it could be, so that when you do go to the other side, it's like, well, I said I believed in you. I believed in all things holy. That's not the same. That's not the same. You got to know who it is that you're speaking to and that you're speaking on. You know? And if you don't, it's cool to just say that. I would prefer for celebrities to say, hey man, I don't know what happens on the other side, or I haven't studied enough, as opposed to telling you, yeah, that's me, I'm him. Cause of the money, cause of the camera, cause of a script that somebody wrote for you to repeat, cause you channeled something. That's not even talent. That's you being a copycat. That's you making a deal and being gifted for your participation. I don't know, man. But yeah, this Video went a little bit longer than expected, man. I just had to get this out, man. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, I appreciate y'all rocking with the channel, you know. All the feedback, good and bad. I'm here for it, you know. If you do like the content, share it with somebody. You know what to do.